On the 19th of November 2000, in a rural Indian village at the foothills of the Himalayas, an operation was about to take place on an 8-year-old girl. But what was so extraordinary was that the surgeon carrying out the operation was 1 year younger than the patient.
In this book, the surgery is well defined and it contains 57 surgeries.
The girl had been badly burned as a toddler. Her hands had formed into permanent fists. Her fingers had fused together. As the girl's family were shepherds, they could not afford surgery. They turned for help to a young boy who had a reputation in the region for being a medical genius. In an hour-long operation, the boys successfully separated the girl's fingers, uncurling her hand for the first time in 5 years. The operation was a success, and the legend of Akrit Jaswal, child surgeon, child genius, was born. Akrit has been shown to have the highest IQ for any boy of his age in India, a country of more than 1 billion people. He has focused this phenomenal intelligence on medicine, and now, age 12, claims to be on the verge of discovering a cure for cancer. Akrit was invited to come to London to have his intelligence tested and his theories scrutinized by leading experts in the fight against one of the world's deadliest diseases.
I have never seen such a student in my whole life.
Extraordinary, brilliant,
highly gifted.
He's the boy who has the IQ more than the Einstein.
really a God gift also.
Brilliance has no one natural home. You never know where the next genius is going to come from or predict what they're going to achieve. Akrit Jaswal comes from a sleepy village in a backwater of rural India. This is where Akrit is most at home. He has to study 300 miles away, but when he returns home, he's welcomed back into the heart of his family, indulged by aunts, uncles, cousins, and adored by his mother.
He's having the highest IQ rating in the world. He learned very fast. And after learning alphabets, numbers in Hindi alphabets and English alphabets, we started to teach him joining of words. And he started writing as well. I was 2. Yeah.
He has amazing confidence.
Yeah.
Where does that come from, do you think?
I don't know where this has come. I don't know.
Let's move. Okay. Oh, this is
Actually, he wants to stay with the children. The reason is that he wants to play.
More than anything, here in his home village, Akrit wants to play cricket and mess around with his cousins who treat him as just another one of the gang. But Akrit's path has always been different. He was an early developer. He bypassed crawling, was walking and talking by the age of 10 months, and was reading Shakespeare in English by the age of 5.
Akrit has a great speed of learning than his age mate.
For cancer, this is the world class and the world's best book for cancer studies. And for medical sciences, this is called the Bible of Medical Sciences. This is Gray's Anatomy by Henry Gray.
Akrit's bedroom is full of medical science books, presents given to him by a father who fueled his passion for medicine. Days spent in doctor's surgeries observing dozens of operations turned Akrit's passion into a burning ambition.
My basic aim is to remove all those screams, to remove the agony, to remove the pain from humans.
Presently, he has a single mind. He wants to focus on one subject. He's scared. Perhaps he's scared that if I'm double-minded, I can distract from my mission. Because he says that this is my mission to eradicate this disease.
My basic concept for cancer treatment is oral gene therapy. And I think if I am provided with a lab once, within 2 or 3 years, I'll be able to develop a chemical, a drug that would be able to modify the human genome and replace the defective genes with the normal ones.
Akrit attended a local school run by his parents, but there was soon very little that they could teach him. Akrit became the teacher, teaching maths and English to students 10 years older than he was.
And these lines, these shady lines, these are the sutures for each of the bone. These hollow spaces are the orbits in which eyes are fixed. These red bones are the nasal bones. They are not true bones. This is the nasal concha, which separates both the sides of the nose.
Akrit appeared in the local press. His IQ was certified by experts in both the USA and India. His photo was taken. His hand was shaken. Akrit had become a celebrity.
But I have felt cancer. I know that I can feel it. I can feel what is going to be in cancer and how I'm going to tackle it. And I've actually felt that how I will paralyze it and how I will cure it. Breaking up the barriers of the cell membrane, inside the nucleus, the strands are changing, the nucleotide base repair is occurring, everything is going on.
Determined to understand all there is to know about cancer, Akrit is now studying for a science degree at Chandigarh College. At only 12 years of age, he is the youngest ever student to be accepted at an Indian university.
I might have made something useful for the humanity. That would be, curing the pains of millions and billions of people throughout the globe. And I think if I'm successful in that, I think for myself, I will become the most successful scientist.
He's so intelligent. Most of them actually. He's too young, and obviously we are too aged.
He's very funny. I thought that he's the cousin of somebody. Then when I came to my botany class, then I came to know that he's my classmate.
All of you can become like Akrit, or Akrit is something special. All of you have the same potential like him.
Only thing is you're not using your potential. So I think he should be a motivating factor, and someone to emulate.
He can retain a lot. That is this is something different.
Whether you're chatting, whether you're playing, whether you're doing anything, any activity, you need to have a specific level of concentration. So then only success is yours.
Chandigarh is an industrial city a day's drive north of Delhi. In order to study here, during term time, Akrit lives in a small, crowded flat with his mother, his uncle, and his family. Akrit's father left the family a year ago, depressed and exhausted by 6 years spent battling with Indian bureaucracy to get his son's intellect acknowledged and resources made available for his cancer research.
His father was frustrated with the system, that he is such an extraordinary boy, and government doesn't want to help him.
With his father gone, Akrit relies on his mother, who in turn devotes herself to him.
We had to travel all the time. She was with me. She always has encouraged me. That is a great sacrifice. And she never considers herself and her choices.
Akrit wants to use his medical knowledge to repay those who believe in him, striving to achieve the incredible.
The first is that I can develop the cure of cancer and AIDS and cure each and every man suffering with these diseases throughout the world. Second, to get the Nobel Prize at the youngest age forever. Number 3 is that I will conduct researches and I pray that I shall be successful in curing each and every human disease. That is my third wish. Nothing else.
Absolute, including a senior government official who fast-tracked him through the education system. Akrit is on his way to visit him, a day's drive from Chandigarh.
I have basically 4 super mechanisms for the cure of cancer. Super mechanisms means that they are based on targeting such targets that are so much important in the spread of that disease and in the further enhancement of disease. If once they are destroyed, they are definitely going to switch off those targets, and thus the disease is cured.
Akrit is confident that he has the answers, that he can succeed in a field where, so far, the world's medical community has struggled. But can he really know something that the medical profession does not? Throughout history, scientific breakthroughs have come not only from the established, the learned and the scholarly, but also from single flashes of insight and inspiration. Akrit travels to Dharamshala, summoned for a progress meeting with his mentor in the Indian education system, Mr. Babu Ram Rahi, chairman of all secondary schooling.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, I would like to show you this. This is the national award I got.
Child Minister.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
We want that if he qualifies, if he become a scientist, he becomes a scholar in the aid field, he must have a high proficiency.
And I will listen to it and gain something from it for my future. And try to become like him, for caring for everyone. And
Akrit is respectful but unfazed. For him, meeting ministers has become routine. For ordinary people meeting Akrit, it is anything but. And when he's in town, they gather for an audience. They come with prescriptions and medicines seeking advice. They come with ailments and injuries for a diagnosis. They come to see a doctor, a healer.
he used to aspirate it. Then he used to inject those injections, increasing the...
They come to see a guru. And because this is India, there is a spiritual dimension.
कृष्ण का जो IQ समझ लो या उसके इंटेलिजेंस से समझ लो कि जो काम करना है कैसे करना है सब उनको पता लग जाता था उसी के अनुसार मैं आपको बताऊं कि ऐसा
It's hard for Akrit to keep his feet on the ground when everyone around him treats him like a god. However, Dharamshala is the spiritual heart of the Himalayas and the perfect place for enlightenment.
Actually, you can, and you hard working, and also actually you have good memory, and also you get more opportunity to travel different country and a different place. You should focus, how to say, on the basic of your subject. Like one subject, it's very important if you do like this, and also it's very become like famous, popular.
Actually, he has a very good guess. Good guess. You can say good guess.
He was saying that it is all your concentration that you have, and if you focus on anything, you're going to complete it. Although there are some obstacles.
If you focus on one subject, you will become famous, he said. Yeah.
Akrit may be famous, but will he be the one to unlock the secrets of a cure for cancer?
Okay, it's good. This also?
He was invited to Imperial College London to find out.
That excites me the most because it was my dream for the last 5 years. I've been thinking of visiting Imperial College.
Akrit is to spend 2 weeks based at Imperial College London, having his intelligence tested and talking super mechanisms, genes and therapies with scientists at the cutting edge of cancer research.
I'm looking forward so that I can conduct research here. Maybe. If Imperial College wants to, then only.
First, Akrit must convince world-renowned cancer biologist Professor Mustafa Jamgoz.
When I was a little boy, out in Cyprus, I knew of Imperial College and always wanted to come and study here.
Yeah, me too.
You too. How did your interest start, you know?
Actually, I was, very sharp at a very small age. And after my interest got in cancer, I got my interest in cancer, then I, used to go on the net. And I used to, make copies of internet papers on genes, P53.
Did you know it was discovered at Imperial College, P53, by a very good friend of mine, Professor David Lane. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, Professor David Lane.
Yeah, if you discover a lump in your breast or a tumor in your brain and it can be surgically removed and uprooted, then...
I'm sorry, I don't agree.
You don't agree? Okay.
Because I think that surgery, also increases its metastatic rate.
You worked on this?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll be very
on the ion channels. I was very interested in ion channels.
You're kidding? I think you should be filming this.
I am. No.
You've been thinking about ion channels, generally speaking, or ion channels in cancer?
Ion channels in cancer.
Hey, come on. I think you should come and do a PhD here and,
Professor Jamgoz is curious, intrigued, and keen to find out more. He suggests Akrit meet a colleague, a specialist in the clinical treatment of cancer.
So lift the skin back. That's good. That's good there. Let it come through.
Surgeon Anup Patel was interested to see how much technical skill a self-taught 12-year-old could really have.
Good. Perfect. Look at that.
Yes.
No, towards you, yeah? Grab the short end, bring it towards you, and the long end away from you. You're becoming like me, saving the NHS money. It's difficult when the box is smaller, you see. Trying to transfer.
No, just move your other hand.
Try and move your other hand. That's it. That's perfect. So you're learning how to be ambidextrous, you see, and in surgery it's very important to learn how to be ambidextrous if you can. India, of course, was one of the pioneering places for laparoscopic surgery, especially in urology.
Gastrointestinal, actually.
Yeah, gastrointestinal is the most common. I think there's undoubtedly a need to impress. This is a new environment. It's a dream for him to come here. And clearly he wants to show a good showing. And by the look of him, he's had plenty of practice doing that, obviously in India. And he's a natural performer.
Akrit continues to perform. happy to show off his knowledge to bemuse medical students twice his age.
Come with me. Do you know what angioplasty and stenting is, Akrit? Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
What do they do that for?
They do it for just having some coronary blockage.
That's right. What most people do. What does MRI stand for?
Magnetic resonance imaging.
That's right. And what do CT scans and MRI scans allow us to do?
They get us a good and clean picture of the visceral organs.
That's right. They allow us to see inside of people without actually having to cut them open, doesn't it? What is it that we've been doing by talking to Mr. Fitzgerald? We've been taking a
clinical history.
A clinical history, that's right.
Tell me a little bit about chemical gene therapy.
And it's actually, to target genes specifically and maybe use a rounded approach, some biochemical agents as well as genetic genotoxic agents. It's in oncoproteins also. You can target some DNA binding motifs, structural motifs with which they bind to the DNA and express their information in the cancer cells for cancer treatment.
Thank you. You got any more questions for him? Thank you, Rennie. His scientific knowledge is very, very sharp. Very impressive. Very impressive. So I'd say that he's probably ahead of us in most of his scientific knowledge and his anatomy. At his age, whether the ethics of having someone who's not really into his teens treating patients and whether he can really comprehend problems with cancers such as the impact on someone's life.
I think he's a very bright boy. He's not lacking in imagination, is he?
He's certainly not lacking in either intelligence or imagination. He's obviously been precocious and revered in his own environment back in India. And nobody's really taken them and him under their wing.
There is some orthodox in the, in India, orthodox thinking that there are only divine powers and humans can't do anything.
So do you think faith plays an important role linked with medicine?
Because they have more faith in a 12-year-old than a doctor. Not in a 12-year-old doctor, in a 12-year-old boy with divine powers, rather than maybe a 12-year-old doctor. That's the problem in India.
Yeah. What do you think about all that?
That's rubbish.
Akrit sees himself as a scientist, not a guru. It's important to him that his theories and thinking are objectively judged, not lost in spiritual wrapping.
So you're now interested in research because you think solutions to medical problems will come through research, and you've got some ideas yourself?
Yeah, I've got a lot of ideas. Actually, I've got millions of ideas, but I've also selected them few. Right now, I want to do is to develop a cure, just one single, the final cure. The genetic cure for cancer.
A mega cure.
Yeah. The genetic
let's
cure
hear
for
about
cancer.
this.
All right, let's hear some of the ideas about the genetic cure for cancer that you have.
It is based on the disintegration of DNA binding structural motifs of oncoproteins. Yeah, it's normally they think genes, let's fix them.
Yes.
But how?
So you call this chemical gene therapy. You'll give it as a tablet. You'll take it by mouth. And this chemical will go into all these cells in the body. So are you then proposing to try and fix specific genes, or just go into DNA generally and repair everything that might be in bad condition?
Both.
Both. That's not easy.
That's not easy.
A lot of people have tried that.
It's not easy. It's not at all easy.
But you're optimistic.
Yeah. I've got actually a lot of mechanisms basically, and one was also based on the voltage-gated ion channels. But still, I have something little secret.
Okay, well, we certainly don't want to get you to divulge secrets.
Akrit Jaswal, the world's youngest surgeon, is now in London. His own theories for a cure for cancer are now under the microscope. Akrit's self-belief carries him through, but what is clear is that although theoretically possible, the idea of using one single drug to fix the damaged DNA in all cancer cells is extremely difficult to deliver. Akrit's mentors are keen for him to gain an understanding of the hard work and long lab days that underpin their own research.
We work mainly on prostate cancer and breast cancer. And we grow cells that are very aggressive, and cells that are less aggressive, and cells that are normal. You see, aggressive cancer cells are very small because they are prepared to spread around, so they don't put out long processes. They're like little bullets. Okay, so we have a new idea for cancer now.
Yeah.
We say, look, cancer cells, metastatic cancer, aggressive cancers, are excitable. They're hyperactive. They're generating a lot of electrical signals like excitable cells do, almost like in epilepsy, and these signals facilitate the cell's aggressive behavior. We know that because if we block the channels using drugs, we can slow the cell's invasive behavior. So this is a very new field in cancer research.
It also is an expansion of the idea we were talking about, where we might be able to get to a point where we, the host, live in harmony with the cancer cell.
It's a very, very clever disease. Or sometimes reminds me of the chameleon. You know, it sort of changes color. The more you do with it, the more it changes character.
But one thing I would like to ask, these people work every day in the lab.
Yes.
Every day they're working and working and working.
Yes.
So, you know, after such a lot of, work every day, why don't there is any breakthrough every day? Why isn't there?
Well,
because they're working and there should be some expectation every day.
But there is. There is progress every day. Breakthrough is something different.
Yeah.
If cancer was such a simple problem, it would have been long cured by now.
Yeah.
Life is not a race, remember? We talked about this, that you must take each step and make sure that it's secure.
The people who are dying, they don't see that my life is a race or not.
Quite right.
So
But that's true for all of us, Akrit. Yeah. And we all work trying to deal with cancer, yeah? 20, 30 years.
I also understand about the real world, but I think break every barrier and then only something can be achieved. You have to open each and every packet, then you see, yes, I got it.
I think that's right.
Eureka.
I think that's right.
Then only you can say Eureka. You have to, if you have to do hard work, then you should do it so much hard.
You must never lose that expression you had on your face just now, where you
Eureka.
open each and every packet and there's Eureka. There are different aspects of life.
Inquisitors become friends. They are keen to foster Akrit's enthusiasm, keen to protect him from disappointment, and willing to guide him on his way.
Clearly, the absence of the father is a telling sign, and I can see that in his personality. And he does need to have some limitations. He does need, from time to time, somebody to say, well, actually, what you've just said is rubbish.
Anup Patel sees the lack of a father's influence as a problem for Akrit. But does Akrit agree?
It's nothing like he left me and all that. He just told us that you even contact me the day you will win your achievement, you'll get it. Then you contact me.
Which achievement?
The cancer cure. He said that now I'm fed up, I'm totally fed up. You think that my brain is it's just exhausted. It's burnt out. So you only contact me the day you will do it. And I think I have to prove it also. He knows that I'm going to do it and I'm going to see him.
So you have to win the fight on your own, and when you've won it, you will go back to him?
Yeah.
Do you miss him?
Yeah, maybe. Because I just miss him, that the sort of struggle he might also I've conducted and all that strategy he would have done. And I think I've got just one aim. I don't think about anything else.
If you had your way, he would be here.
Then he would be with me. Yeah.
Akrit's father waits for him to find a cure for cancer. But how long will he wait? And how likely is Akrit to succeed? Until now, Akrit has worked tirelessly, unfunded and alone. All over the world, thousands of researchers are spending millions of dollars, testing their own theories, inching closer to a cure. Akrit is just one of a crowd, albeit the youngest member.
Now, your idea is, in principle, very, very simple. So all you need to do is to have a chemical to go and correct the gene. Now, it's not rocket science. It's a very, very simple idea. And I'm just wondering, why haven't other people thought of doing the same? Or is it because, it's a little bit like a Mission Impossible?
But one thing is there. The impossible disease can only be cured with the impossible cure. And I'm sure I'm going to develop it.
Come on, you have to come out clean now. The principle may be okay, but how do you go about making such a chemical?
Actually, I've developed some sort of reasonable structure for this.
So you have designed such a molecule, you think?
I've designed its chemical structure, not very high, on this, because I don't have that much high facilities. But still, I've developed a sort of possible.
Well, let's test it.
So
it's not synthesized now. It is not existing as a ready-to-use form. It is in a structure now. It is here.
So in practical terms, what you want to be is you want to be a developmental biochemist.
Yes.
And then you want to find the right partner to work with you and provide you with the resources that you need.
Only resources, no partners.
Only resources, no partners. Okay, very interesting concept.
Only resources.
Sadly, the world doesn't work that way.
He is generating ideas based upon what he knows in an idealistic sort of way, without being in full grip of reality and how difficult it is to turn the ideas into practical realities. And there he puts up a screen. He says, it's in my mind, only I will do it, and I've been given this gift. And that is his kind of smoke screen almost. And I don't know that we'll be able to penetrate that.
Okay. Good. We're going to leave those. One from each row.
Creative, hard-working, inquisitive. But just how intelligent is Akrit Jaswal? Team Focus, the UK's leading IQ analysts, agreed to test him.
Exactly as it is there. Okay. Let's go on to the next one, shall we? I could see you working very hard with that one.
They are the different responses to some damage.
Next one, salt and water.
In the same order.
When I finish saying the numbers.
1, 8, 5,
3, 1, 5. I want you to choose something from the top that goes with something from the bottom.
Just one. Not very good. Not even very bad. I don't think I did very good in the test.
Really?
IQ test, yeah.
Tell me, what, the whole thing? Or?
No. A little bit in everything.
What feels most like Akrit could be either anyway, couldn't it?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean when you choose one, identify some of the strengths in the way in which you do that. And you're actually going to have a scale.
Are you worried about going and finding out?
Yeah. It was not very bad, not very good.
Not very bad.
Yeah. Well, another way of looking at it is looking at, say, if we took 100 children, where you would come. Today on your verbal, it would come out around the 98th percentile. So that's the top 2%. Your very best score, Akrit, was the general knowledge. One of the other areas, Akrit, that you seem to have more problem with, and I'd like to really know your thoughts on this, were the more practical-based things.
This included recognizing patterns within the blocks, finding similarities in pictures, and the speed with which these and other tasks were completed.
This, today, seems to actually be below your age group. Your verbal stuff was so good, all right, it was up there, and your other practical things weren't so high. It means that an overall score actually shouldn't be computed.
नहीं कह रही है कि वही पहले जो था वर्बल और परफॉर्मेंस में डिफरेंस वैसे ही अभी भी ज़्यादा है. डिफरेंस ज़्यादा है.
After the brilliance he'd shown in earlier tests in India and the USA, Akrit struggled to come to terms with the results.
Okay.
Not a good day.
No?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I wasn't feeling good.
During the whole day?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you feel now after that?
I'm still feeling unrelaxed. Wasn't good.
He wasn't doing that well on the matrices, and I was astounded by the block design.
Yeah.
I was really worried by that.
I don't know how much he sort of really tries to get to the nub of the problem.
And he was disappointed with his time on that, I know. But I just feel there's so much pressure on this kiddie, and I don't know how he's going to get off that treadmill.
Somehow it was below than the expectation of Akrit. So he was upset. Due to his upset, I became upset. No, it doesn't matter for me, because IQ is not the main thing. There are a lot of qualities in him. Yeah, there are some kind of ups and downs, but I don't bother about that. Whenever he is interacting with the intellectuals, we have seen him, and he's talking up to their level. Of course, I love him. I have to appreciate him, not to discourage him. It's my duty.
Team Focus suggested that Akrit had probably been an early developer, but now that intellectual development had slowed. Skipping school meant that Akrit didn't have the practical skills to match his natural intelligence. The results do not alter what Akrit might achieve, but he needed help. A wise friend to talk to.
You see more when you take a step back.
Yeah.
I think if you went in a lab today and we gave you a team and we gave you the money, I think your team would be very confused.
Yeah.
Because I think you're a little bit confused.
No, I'm not.
That's what I think. I'm being honest with you now. Okay? And I think you're a little bit confused because you've got a lot of ideas, but they're not cohesive. I just think that the circumstances in India may have been such that you've been held a bit too high too soon, and there isn't enough oxygen up there, and if you stay up there for too long, you're going to suffer the effects of that low oxygen up there, and so you need to come down and breathe some real oxygen for a bit before you go out for the next breath at the top of the Himalayas. Yeah?
Yeah. I haven't found such, guidance, realistic guidance from anyone in India. It's simple in India because they think the ones who are bright and the ones who are gifted, they're meant to be, they're doomed to do something really, really great. Something that is so much great that a normal man can't expect of. But I won't let them do it to me, and I won't let me do it to me.
That's the most important thing. You mustn't let you do it to you.
Yeah.
But whenever you're in trouble, or you think you're in trouble, or people are pressurizing you, what are you going to do?
Take a step back.
That's right. Okay?
Yeah.
Super. 5. Yeah, that's the way.
Just do a little bit more acceleration,
Okay.
yeah? And then if you go too quick, just come off and slow down.
I don't want to have it crash out.
No, you won't have a crash. You're not going fast enough.
The professor's analysis is that Akrit needs to obsess less and enjoy more. But without obsession, without a burning drive, can Akrit still succeed? As a child growing up in India, Akrit Jaswal has been celebrated as a genius. This and claims of finding a cure for cancer brought him to London. Here, Akrit hoped that his theories would be considered unique enough to merit the funding of further research at the world-famous Imperial College. He was tested and challenged and has now had to reevaluate.
Yeah, one thing more important I learned here was being realistic. That it doesn't mean that you can't sort of think that you can't do anything, you can't fulfill the ambition you have, but in a more realistic way, so that you don't get sad and embarrassed when there are ups and downs in that project.
The pressure he's going to experience in doing it, or in crossing the bridge from idea to reality or principle to practicality, that's going to be a huge burden on him. Huge burden.
When they first time told me about collaboration and teamwork, I didn't quite like it. And then when I thought over it, I thought about again and again, then it changed my mind.
Akrit is at Imperial College to say goodbye to the professors, concerned that he will return to India with new friendships and a new photo album, but no concrete plans for his future.
And I think still we can make a fantastic 3 team.
I think so.
I think.
So you got the
I'm still
research
probably thinking
scientist,
on it.
you got a medic, you got bright ideas.
Yeah.
Now it's decision time.
I think that he's spoken the words out of his own mouth, that actually probably what he needs is not to speed up through the BSc and through other things that will come, but to take time to enjoy what the BSc has to offer.
He's intelligent enough to have realized what he's got to do, and now we are looking to the future slightly differently. And I think I almost feel you've sort of matured. You've gone through a mini maturation process.
Yeah, you're right.
Manup and I have been talking, and it is our intention to make it possible for you to come back to the laboratory, spend a period with us, maybe some summer months. That's usually when these things happen.
I would love if first I can get a project type from you, and then I can test it first, rather than testing my own ideas, because I have my ideas, but to test them, I will need a practical experience, pre-practical experience.
It's nice to hear you say that, because when you first came, you were intending to move at, shall we say, warp speed.
I think it's I feel there's tremendous potential here.
The problem with all special children, I think, one of the problems, is that because they're so special and because they're so far ahead of their game, the worry that you always have is that they're going to burn themselves out very quickly. We don't know whether we're right and he's not right. But the reality is there's nothing wrong with taking a shortcut. And actually, The fact that he wants to make it all very simple is a testament to his insight, because actually it's only the simple ideas that are the best and durable things in life.
Back home again in India, Akrit Jaswal continues to live with the expectation that he will find a cure for cancer. 6 million people a year die from the disease, and the struggle to find a cure continues. At Imperial College London, and in the mind, dreams and desires of a 12-year-old cricket-crazy boy from the foothills of the Himalayas.
It will take a long time, but I will, get their expectations right by curing it, either in 10 years, 20 years, but I will do it.
Next week, the astonishing story of a 75-year-old Moroccan woman who gave birth to a stone baby. Extraordinary People continues with the 46-year-old pregnancy next Monday at 9.